It's me again. You know, sometimes people just say, like, how could so and so be so rude? How could so and so be so disrespectful? How can so and so strut around like that and act like, like the world's their ashtray? And the answer is because you let them. You see, it's all very interesting, how it all seems to work, okay? Because, you have, like, these people who want, like, who need money to survive. So they go work for someone else who has a little money, who pays them, and then that person pays money to someone else who's a little bigger up the food chain. And then that person pays money and we go up to the next person. And that person pays down money and goes up to the next person, you see. And this might be fine if we could choose where we wanted to do these things and in what arenas we thought these various paradigms were appropriate, you see, but this is just the only game in town, okay? So then you do all this, and then you come to this one person who has a lot of money, just wanders around like they own the place with their overweight paunch, and talking about this shit and that shit, And he says he's so arrogant. He said, yeah, he's arrogant because you're here doing whatever he wants. And, it's just like, well, what can I do, bro? It's like, well, every day people go to a church and they kneel down before a white cross, and they pray for miracles and they pray for faith and they want to take leaps of faith, Well, if your life is shit anyway, then why don't you make your life mean something and take a leap of faith? It's just like, well, instead of standing here staring at this ugly piece of shit who's, basically, thinks that they're the king of the, king of the world, king of you anyway. And boy, they think this. I mean, look at property. Once you're on someone else's property, they're the lord of everything. And don't get me wrong, there's certain freedoms in all this, I guess. And sometimes maybe we need those things. But, again, when any one paradigm's, applied exhaustively, you got problems. See, human beings should be able to pick and choose their paradigms for different scenarios, just like tools, you see. It can have like an overarching guidance of ethics of certain kinds, and then, just like we would pick up certain constructs, then we would apply this to that, and we apply this to that, and we don't have to have a whole nation dedicated to just one idea that they're going to fuck up anyway. We have a bunch of little ideas, and we try to, apply them where they're appropriate, and then we know, okay, I'm entering into a competitive capitalistic paradigm here. I'm entering into a socialistic paradigm here. I'm entering into an artistic paradigm here. I'm entering into an athletic paradigm here, you see? But, and you can go from there. You can have, like, if there was an overarching goal for everyone, we could, come down like a tree from that. But basically what we have is that the richest person is the ruler of everything. But, the only reason that's true is because of you. You. Yes, you. If you just told that person, like, it's like, imagine, like Donald Trump walked into your living room and you just stood up, looked past all 6 Secret Service agents and said, Donald Trump, you're a bitch. And I don't mean to be, sexist, but I'm just saying, okay, like, I want to be catchy here, soundbite. So anyway, like, if everyone just did that, it would really suck being president, because he's only president because everyone's doing what he says and trying to abide by the American ideal, which is apparently failing anyway because the Russians, who, by the way, never didn't invent the iPhone and couldn't have a society that would promote people who invented the iPhone. And they never invented the internet. And they never invented any of the social freedoms that allow us to use these things. But boy, they sure are eager to come in here and try to take them over and use them to manipulate us, right? You see, you realize they're not really a threat because they're stupid. I mean, sure, they'll do it and whatever, and so whatever, but the truth is they're already playing in our game. So what I'm trying to say is that, it's all you, baby. If you don't want this asshole walking around like a prick, kick him in the nuts.